In this video, I'll be telling you all how I gained 100 pounds after joining the military. I'll be covering how I ate, trained, and slept, and hopefully this inspires you to get into the gym, and for those that are already in, motivates you to keep going, especially for my hard gainers out there. All right, let's start out with eating, because this was the hardest of the three categories for me personally. See, I come from a wrestling background where you would basically starve yourself almost, or you'll put yourself in a very extreme caloric deficit. See, I would do methods like I would wear a trash bag underneath my clothes throughout the school day so that way I would sweat more, or I would even fall asleep wearing a trash bag. These are just like the things you did when you're a wrestler, and if you are one out there, I highly recommend you do not do that, and if you are doing that, you need to stop. It is very dangerous. But yes, this when it came to wrestling, it really like destroyed my appetite. Like, I'm that person that could just do little snacks all day, not eat meals, and just go on throughout my day. But you can't do that when you want to gain weight. So when I enlisted in the military, there's this place called the Galley that you can go to, and you can eat there 3 times a day, which is what I would do. I eat there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I completely piled my plate up, and I'll show you guys a clip of what like a typical meal at the Galley looks like. All right, this is what your typical meal looks like at a galley. Not like a galley on a ship, but like on shore duty. Like, the galley here is pretty good. So we got our vegetables, our fruits, and protein. And as you can see, I got orange juice, which is fresh from a machine, which is pretty dope. But yep, this is what I eat 3 times a day. So they actually have it here. This is the exact brand that I used. Like, this is the exact one I used when I was putting on weight. 1,200 calories, 52 grams of protein per serving, and it is 2.5 scoops that are pretty gigantic. So when you first start out, it might be hard to like stomach this all, but yep, this is what I use. All right, that sums up pretty much how I ate. I would eat 3 times a day at the Galley, and I would combine that with mass gainer protein, which is the protein that you saw. It's like almost 1,300 calories. I would do those 2 times a day, and I'll also combo that with pre-workout and creatine for my workouts. It wasn't until my second year in the military until I started taking lifting more seriously. I was really into calisthenics and high intensity workouts. For me, it was really fun to, you know, develop with that. And you go from doing like pull-ups to eventually you're doing muscle-ups. And once you get muscle-ups, I'm telling you, it's a feeling that's like, it just feels so good once you hit your first muscle-up. But eventually I got into heavy lifting, or lifting weights, I should say. And that was also fun because it's always fun to watch numbers go up, no matter what it is, you know, watching your numbers go up. And so I was chasing after higher numbers, and it felt like every week I was getting like a new max. I was hitting a new max like every other week, every week. And so my method for that, or how I was able to do that, was I would train till failure, and I would do very like high intensity workouts, but mostly I really believe training till failure got me there. There's like this thing by Arnold that he says where he's like, don't start counting your reps until your muscles hurt, then that's when you start counting, which I followed that, and it worked very well for me. Now I don't train till failure as much, but I mix it up. I would do heavy sets, low reps, or lighter sets for high reps. And like what that means is, say I have a 25-pound dumbbell and that is considered light for me, I would do like 10 to 15 reps of that. And if it was a 40-pound dumbbell, which I would say is more on the higher end, I would do, you know, 5 to 10 reps on that. All right, and the last portion I'm gonna cover is sleep. How did I sleep? This is gonna vary per person, you know, depending on your job and your responsibilities throughout the day. It is recommended that you get around 8 hours of sleep a night, which for some people that just isn't reasonable. Like I said, everyone has different responsibilities and things going on. Me personally, I get around 6 hours of sleep a night, which is just fine for me. I wake up, I feel well rested. It's quality sleep, so Yeah, that just varies per person. So find yourself a nice middle ground, because you don't want to work out all groggy, because it will affect the quality of your workout if you're just burnt out throughout the day and just try to go to the gym. It's not gonna be quality. But yeah, that's pretty much how I slept. All right, and that pretty much sums up how I gain 100 pounds. I would eat 3 times a day. I would also mix in mass gainer protein shakes. I would train. I would train heavily. I would train till failure. And thirdly, I would sleep. I get around 6 hours of sleep. Some days more, some days less. But more often than not, I got around 6 hours of sleep. If I missed anything, or well, you wouldn't know if I missed anything, but if there was more details you would like to know or want me to go even more into detail, please let me know in the comments. We are very close to 500 subs, which thank you all for that. Hopefully we could get 1,000 by the end of the year. That would be pretty cool. And you'll watch me develop with my video making and all that cool stuff. So thank you all again for the watch, and I'm out.